Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to another episode. Thinking outside the box, breaking the G code. Top of the morning to you. I don't know if it's morning time when y'all viewing it, but it is for me. How are y'all doing? I hope y'all blessed. Still snowed in. I'm sure some of y'all are. The roads is pretty nasty out there for the ones that's in my location and area. I ain't gonna really do too many topics today. Been doing a lot of them in the videos. I want to kind of go back to the book on this episode. Chapter called Reality. Once again, for the ones that just tuning in, it's from my views, opinions, and stuff I went through in life. Relating to life now and how it's just a repetitive cycle. Even in my generation coming up, the same shit I went through and the same problems, the repetitive cycle of doing shit. You grow to try to get past that shit, but now in this time and age, you see the same shit going on with this generation and so forth. And it's like, yo, I can relate. I've been there. So in the book, I'm just writing from my point of views and, like I said, opinions and events and things that I seen that kind of gave me the knowledge and wisdom to be where I am today. I just chose to speak on it, raw, unfiltered. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what this podcast is going to be based on. But once again, I want to base it on this episode on reality. Have y'all ever sat back and thought, like, does everybody think the same upon the decisions and everyday basis? And I think I touched that in a podcast before, episode before, but it's kind of like based to the reality standpoint on views. Everybody set dreams. Everybody's got a dream. Everybody's got a want. Everybody's chasing something and trying to seek it in reality. But have you ever sat back and thought, what is considered reality? What you see in front of you, the visions, the ideas, what's there in front of you at that moment. Real, fake, smoke and mirrors. I mean, not to swerve off topic or nothing, but it kind of made me think, like, reality standpoint, everything we might have been taught back in the day through the books, what was said history-wise. Half that shit might not have been reality. That was just my mindset to even, I used a little bit more of my brain to even think, like, damn, what if, like, for real, just like, and maybe I'm like just talking out my ass to some people, but really sit back and think about it. Maybe we wasn't really, the reality they were setting in front of us wasn't reality. It was just some bullshit. You know how many people still think to this day, man walking on moon never happened? You know how many people believe in so many beliefs or reality standpoints that we was told to happen that was just smoke and mirrors, that was bullshit? I think we need to open our minds when it comes to what we seek or what we think is reality. And once you do that, I guarantee, once you try to focus on it and see it from different standpoints, you'll probably see that in this book, I'm taking you down that road that most people don't want to go down that road on when it comes to seeing things for what it really is. They tell you what not to say and they tell you what to believe and they tell you what happened. And if you ain't there to really see it, is that considered reality? Well, reality of this is, what is that? It's what the illusion of life is, what portrayed to be in front of you. Like, look further past reality. I mean, life would go so further if motherfuckers would really pause and really, if everybody really sat back and thought upon some of these bases, I think it'd be a lot more, not saying smart, but a lot more decisions made upon, not saying we all for ourselves, but there's some fucked up shit. Like, open your eyes and look around us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Let's go back some though. Because like I said, the reason I brought up reality is because, like I said, most people get up every day and go upon their day on what they see or what they need to do. And at the end of the day, most of them can't stand the fucking job or career or what decisions they made to go throughout that day. They either regretting it or they beating themselves up or they got something in their head saying I could have did this or I could have did it. In all reality, I could have did this, or I don't know. Reality is a strong thing that people just honestly don't really, damn near, they zombified damn near. People these days are like, to me, they're not puppets, but they're pretty much scared. They don't care to think outside the box. Just leave me the fuck alone. They don't want to think or believe. And it's easy to say that because look how easy it is for the president to get motherfuckers to act out and be dumb. And the reality behind that, they're believing, oh, reality is, well, Trump says this or this and that the third, or, man, stop following what people telling you what to do or what people put, the illusions and images people are painting is where I'm going with this. I ain't dragging it out. Fuck it. You know how this podcast go. I'm basically saying the shit that we've been reading, the shit that we've been taught was from somebody else's standpoint, somebody else's viewings. We ain't really seeing the reality behind that shit. We seeing what was taught and what was told to us. When you go to say about reality, reality to me is what's happening right now. If I go outside in the world right now, what I see with my eyes, that's reality. What I can actually sit here and physically touch and see for myself to say if it's true or not, that's reality. Word of mouth ain't really reality, is how I look at it, and that's where I'm going with this. Word of mouth ain't really reality because you're taking somebody else's words and wisdom and you're trying to make an image and you're going off of somebody else's shit. Everybody has a different reality. What I mean by that is, like I said, think outside the box, follow me, go outside. See for yourself whatever you can see physically and change and do and interact in. That's reality. Did you interact in the wars back in the day? Was any of y'all interacting in the slavery shit back in the day? All these battles, all this shit that's been going on centuries and centuries in BC and all this other stuff. Was y'all there to see reality of any of that? Basically, what I'm saying is following suit. You following what was told to you. So your mindset is based on what's told to you, not reality of what you physically see in yourself. You go out here every day and everybody's reality is work, school, and sports, everyday life. That's your reality. That's your reality. It corrupts people's mindset. They don't know. And that's just how I look at it. That's how I look at my reality standpoint. Anything I can't interact and be a part of, I can't say that was my reality. Physical, in a physical way, not mental. Because a lot of people mental is so weak and so broke down these days. I don't get it. And I'm not saying I'm the smartest. And I'm not saying I walk around here and excuse me. I'm not saying I'm the wisest and I walk around here and I got some gift and I'm just on to some shit. No, I'm saying what most people won't say. It's a lot of dumbasses out here. It's a lot of stupid motherfuckers in this world. I mean, let's be clear. Anybody can smile in your face and indulge in a conversation with you and be around you. Some stupid motherfuckers that'll fuck your whole reality up. Like, by poor decisions. Following suit. A lot of these things I done touch bases on, like, but today it's the reality of it. How many people are actually gonna open their eyes and say, okay, my bad choices and my bad decisions keep making me go through this, or the reality of their own life standpoint. It'll help get a lot of them out of the situation they're in. I know as I've been going through these podcasts, it seems like I'm giving all this advice, but shit, it's one thing y'all might not know. A lot of this shit I'm talking about, I've been dealing with, I went through, you know what I'm saying? Like, I might be currently going through this shit. These are everyday battles as human beings, you know what I'm saying? I ain't bulletproof to none of this shit. But I'm not gonna hold no filter and I'm gonna speak on it. And I would like, you know what I'm saying, for everybody that indulge in this podcast to feel the same. You want to talk about something, leave it in the comments. Vent. Get it off your chest. We'll discuss that shit. If it ain't a repetitive question that I already spoke on prior to this, we'll speak on it some way, shape, or form. Like, reality for me, again, not to get off the subject, it's like, prime example, how many of y'all focus on the simple fact that you get a job at 14, 13, 14, you started your first job. You got until you're 60 years old until the government cuts you off and you're just a liability to most jobs. You won't get paid. You got to deal with the social security and the retirement. You're at that stage. So they give you about 50 to 55 years working and saving all your life, unless you got a business or whatever terms you go. And I'm talking for the ones that can relate, that ain't eligible, ain't born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You ain't got a nice career, you ain't got a high paying job, or you ain't in the sports or in that limelight. The ones under the poverty line, the ones that you can relate. How many of y'all actually really focus and think you got them 55 years to work? Save up as much as you can. But in the process of doing so, they don't also tell you within them 12 months, you got about, what, 7 months maybe, that you kicking that fucking money out. Back to the government, back to these businesses, the industrial businesses, the cycle of money. And what I mean by that is, within them 12 months, you thinking you saving for these 55 years, not only you paying your utilities in your everyday life, fees, whatever it might be, but out of them 12 months, you got about 7 months you kicking back out to the government. Whether it be New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, the candy industry. You got 4th of July, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. That's 6 so far. And I know I'm missing one. I think Easter. Yeah, Easter. Easter. The candy. Food industry. Thanksgiving. Christmas. Gifts. Food. Halloween. Candy. 4th of July. Fireworks. New Year's. Alcohol. Fireworks. Not to mention, that last month I was just thinking about it. I was forgetting all the birthdays throughout that year that you provided for. So it's not a saving process. Reality for me is, I think it's never a saving process. It's a cycle. within them 55 years, you constantly kicking out. Now you got the balance for the ones that's on that living standpoint. And the ones that ain't got to struggle like that, it ain't just don't even, I mean, you might be able to open your eyes and see where I'm going with it, but just don't go to you. You good. But the ones that's been trying to balance and figure it out, it ain't never been set up for nobody to survive on the poverty line. Them 55 years you're trying to save, you gotta bust that ass. You gotta really do what you gotta do if you're depending on just holding a job down. Most of them run to the streets. That fast money ain't good money. I'm telling you, it ain't. It come and go quick as a motherfucker. And half the time you don't even get a chance to enjoy it because you either behind the bars or you pushing up daisies in the graveyard behind your dumb decisions and the consequences that come behind it. Excuse me. A lot of us don't really think about life like that. A lot of us don't really give a fuck. A lot of us get in a mental standpoint where they just like, yeah, fuck this shit. In all reality, it's like this. You either want to expand yourself mentally, see things for what it really ain't, or see things further than what you've been portrayed to see them as, the visions and the illusions of life, smoking mirrors. That shit can have your head fucked up. I mean, use your thinking process. And this might not be helping nobody out. Don't get it twisted. This might not be where, oh, this helping me out, this, that, third. This nigga might be venting or this, that. No, I'm just saying. This is a chapter in my book. And it goes from different views and different standpoints. So I'm just trying to shed a little bit of that knowledge, or a little bit of that reverting to life today. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us is dealing with that, whether it be your kids, friends, surroundings, co-workers. It's just the reality of life, you know what I'm saying? And it's so common. It happens through so many people to everybody that it's a trend. And it just so happens to get carried on. Somebody see it, they pick it up. Somebody be around it, they pick it up. You know what I'm saying? So pick up this. Pick up what I'm putting down. Stop picking up them trends and open your mind and think. Pick up a book. And and half these motherfuckers don't know how to read. They stop teaching cursive. You know what I'm saying? They stop teaching a lot of shit. Who made those decisions, bro? Like, going back to another podcast, who made those decisions? Education is a motherfucker. And if you expand your fucking brain and use it, man, trust me, life would be so much easier to a lot of these motherfuckers out here. And that goes both ways. So I ain't gonna drag this episode out. Like I said, today I just wanted to touch bases on reality from a couple of my views in the book. And if you can't relate, I feel you. I ain't knocking you on that, you know what I'm saying? Just open your brain, man. I can't wait to get this book finished. Tune in. Another podcast episode of Thinking Outside the Box. Breaking the G code.